John Madden, Majo John Madden in Veracruz, Mexico. I'm about to leave the beautiful coffee shop where I've been for a while. But before I go outside, I want to show you the screensaver on my other phone. This is George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. This is a mural in Louisville, Kentucky, where I spent the summer of 21. So today is the anniversary of George Floyd's killing 4 years later. And I have a personal connection with that. And I want to do, I think, at least 2 separate videos. I want to go outside from the coffee shop where they run the blender and stuff. I want to do probably 2 separate videos talking about my Black Lives Matter involvement in Asheville, North Carolina, and Brownsville. Maybe I'll do 2 separate ones. Brownsville is 1 hour north of Asheville, up in deep Appalachia. It's a jumping off point to the high mountains where I spent the first year of the COVID in a camper van. So when George Floyd was killed, I was up in Burnsville, which is kind of an interesting mix of city and Appalachia. The interstate runs right through Burnsville, so it's a place that's gotten pretty loaded with gentrifying forces from really all over the southeast, but maybe especially from Asheville. People move up to Burnsville. And I was up there and have a passionate connection to diversity issues and racial justice, and really wanted to go back to Asheville, kind of hippie progressive mecca, where there would be, it's a very progressive town, and I knew there would be big demonstrations there. But I had no money for gas, so I was stuck in Burnsville and organized my own daily social justice protests at the town square. I was live casting on Facebook, and had a bunch of people tune in. A bunch of people who I had never met, locals, a couple of which issued me death threats that you better get out of here. You're experience something you don't want to experience. By Wednesday of that week, on Wednesday, the local chapter of the NAACP for 2 counties, neither of which had many black people, so it was mostly white people. I'm just making sure this is still videotaping. Had a very solemn, very prayerful vigil in the town square, and that was great. And there were yahoos. Now, I love the people of Appalachia, but there is a certain element of they're mostly Trumpers up there because they don't have good broadband. They rely on Fox News, but really wonderful people overall. But there were yahoos in their big pickup trucks with their big Trump flags circling the square, kind of harassing and intimidating, threatening. After the prayerful part of the service was over, it kind of broke up, and there were maybe 20 young people, 20 teens and 20-somethings who were getting ready to make the hour trip down to Asheville for the demonstrations there. And they were kind of warming up, and they were marching around the town square, kind of upping the ante in the radicalness of what they were chanting. And the tension was kind of building because the yahoos were kind of menacing out there. And I took a stance between them and the road and really attempted to communicate by my stance, you've got to come through me to get at these kids. And an interesting sidebar to all that, nothing actually did happen. There was a lone guy who I had seen in that town walking his big dog, kind of a bulky, a little on the short side, mysterious guy, and he circled the park all night walking his big dog. And I was suspicious. I didn't like him. I thought he was maybe trouble. We've got to watch that guy. We'll talk about reading somebody wrong. he really helped me later on when I was walking my dog and we needed help with something. And I had a great conversation with him. Turned out he was Afghanistan vet, really strong military training, and great values. And when he gave me his name was Jeff. And when I said, well, I'd like to walk with you again sometime, how can I reach you? He wouldn't give me a phone number or email or anything. He said, I'll be there when you need me. Yeah, he said, I'll be there when you need me. And I ran into his girlfriend later, and I explained to her how I had misread him so totally at that demonstration. She says, well, he was doing exactly what you were doing. He was walking point. He was tracing the perimeter so that if there was any problem for those kids, he was going to be there for them. Yeah. So that's the Burnsville chapter. I did get death threats, and actually when I left Burnsville a few days later, I was at an abandoned state park. It was a state park that was closed, I guess, for the COVID. And as I was setting up camp there, I sent out a Facebook. I was still using Facebook then, letting my friends know where I was. And then it hit me. I hadn't quite set up camp. I was using a tent and sleeping bag at that point. Big buses. With my little Chihuahua Panchita, I said, you were getting death threats from people you don't know on Facebook just a couple days ago. And you just announced on Facebook that you're about to bed down in a closed down abandoned state park by yourself. You're crazy. Get out of here. Get out of here. So I laughed. It got kind of scary. Okay.